Yo, what's good? It's your boy B-Dell. Today we're going to be talking about the art of mastering yourself and how you can reap the benefits of being alone. Now, what you got to understand is that the vast majority of people on the planet are mentally and spiritually compromised to the point their low vibrational energy could be acclimated to your energy. So you have to have the mental and spiritual fortitude in order to master yourself intuitively, you know, even on a interdimensional level or outer dimensional level, to the point where you can't be compromised by external forces. Because, as this planet is going through a metamorphic shift and is going through a metamorphic process, these trivial and these mundane topics that people like to talk about, these things are going to bring down your energy. You know what I'm saying? Because when you were chosen one, your whole life is predicated on purpose. And when you hanging around low vibrational people who don't have any purpose, they're going to bring down your energy, because these people are energy vampires, because they have an emotional attachment to everything in the third dimension, which makes up people, places, and possessions. So this is why a lot of times I find myself, going within and hanging by myself, because I know people, they not about nothing. You know what I'm saying? All they want to talk about is rap, pussy, and sports, sneakers, all types of stuff that don't really mean anything. But, even though to a certain standpoint, as you living in this, on this planet, you know, at some point in time, you're going to acclimate yourself to that energy, but you have to do everything in increments. Every once in a while, I might go do this or do that, but I'm not going to, put my energy into something 100%, because I know these things are basically illusions. So, a lot of times I find myself, especially when you're on this spiritual and this mental journey, a lot of times people are so accustomed to this, this Eurocentric way of living, that you don't want to, match that vibration. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you're going to fall back into an autonomous system of solitude. You see what I'm saying? Because that autonomous system of solitude puts you in a state of readjusting yourself, realignment, to where, you can reap the benefits of structure in your life. I don't like hanging out with people who don't have any type of structure in your life, because structure is the personification of law and order. And when you have law and order in your life, that means you have some type of you can compartmentalize certain things in your life to where you can establish order, because everything in the universe thrives on a logistical order. You know what I'm saying? Nothing acts out of impulse. So I don't like hanging out with people who, they don't have their shit together. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, these people are energy vampires. Because so if they have an emotional attachment to something, a lot of times they can be compromised by so many things. So like that's why I only operate from a place of mentalism, because mentalism puts you in alignment with righteousness, and righteousness connects you to the source, which is God, right? So when you see people are so acclimated to their low vibrational state, a lot of times they're going to bring down your energy to their level, because negative energy begets negative energy. You see what I'm saying? Because, just like your friends and stuff, a lot of these people, they like to sit around, listen to trap music, be programmed by it, sitting around smoking weed all day, not understanding the fact that the aromatase levels in the genetically modified weed, what I'm saying, can compromise you, your whole neurological chemistry. So, but that's a whole different other topic. But in order to master yourself intuitively, you have to deviate from people, places, and possessions. You know what I'm saying? Because your body, your whole biological structure is a government. Everything in the system works on a systematic government, right? So what I'm basically saying is you have to carry yourself with structure. You have to carry yourself with a systematic, organized behavior. You see what I'm saying? Because so, like I said, as soon as you start winging things in your life, soon as you start acting out of impulse, and as soon as you start operating from a place of emotionalism, that's when the chaos and confusion starts to come into play. So, due to the fact that a lot of people are emotionally compromised by everything in this world, I don't like hanging out with dudes who are very emotional, because you know, I've been blessed to, have a father in my life to where, pragmatism, what I'm saying, is the personification of magnetism. You can manifest your own reality when you're in your right state of mind. So I don't like hanging out with niggas who is not in a right state of mind. So I was blessed to have a father to, acclimate that energy, what I'm saying? So to where I can be the man who I am today, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these niggas out here, they was raised by their mamas, so they operating from a place of emotionalism. And they mamas, like I said, you got to understand the delineation between a woman and a female. They're not the same. They're not synonymous. Females are women who haven't evolved, haven't reached that evolutionary state to being a woman. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of niggas got that effeminate female energy on them because their mama was a female because she wasn't evolved into a woman. So a lot of niggas got that female spirit to them. I hate being around niggas like that. Those are the niggas who gossip about you. Those are niggas talk about you behind your back. These are the niggas who will backdoor you. I hate being around that type of energy. And considering the fact, that the nuclear family structure in the household, especially in Black America, so-called Black America, these things has been compromised. You know what I'm saying? The vast majority of Black men, so-called Black men, they was raised in a single parent household. There wasn't no father in the household. So like I said, they got the same energy as they mama. So when you understand Vedic spirituality, you will know that energy transfer is real. This is a real thing. So I don't like being around niggas like that. I don't like being around niggas who grew up without a father, because a father, the principles and morals is going to be accustomed to who you are as a man. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of niggas don't have any morals and principles. That's why you have the vast majority of men on the planet right now. They operating from a place of impulse. You know what I'm saying? They don't think before they act. I hate being around niggas who don't think before they act, because at some point in time, they're going to bring you down to their level. So this is why I find myself, being by myself, which is it's okay because I'm an introvert in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem being by myself because it's going to put me in alignment with purpose. Because when you have a purpose, you know what I'm saying, that has a lot more sustainability than everything that's, propagated by this world. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of shit that I don't really care about. Like I said, I do everything in increments. Like, you can't put yourself around people. You have to think of yourself at a supreme level. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm better than nobody, but at the same time, if I'm thinking at a high vibrational frequency, what I look like hanging out with some low level niggas, what I look like, I've exceeded my limit on having friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in high school no more. What I look like hanging out with everybody. You see what I'm saying? What I look like hanging out with a bunch of niggas who just not doing nothing, not talking about nothing. They're not doing anything that's self-affirming, that is predicated upon substance. What I look like hanging out with a bunch of niggas who just, talking about rap, pussy, and sports and sneakers. You know what I'm saying? I like those things, but I know those things have an expiration date. All those things have a mandated cap. That shit don't really mean anything. You know what I'm saying? So I found myself better off being by myself. You know what I'm saying? Because everything I do is the foundation of mentalism. It's the foundation of growth. It's the foundation of self-preservation. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to master myself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's 360 degrees of physical esoteric knowledge. And then you got 360 degrees of spiritual esoteric knowledge, to where it puts you in alignment with 720 degrees of esoteric, the unification of your higher and your lower self. That means you've mastered yourself. But I just want to give that breakdown. I wanted to give a brief synopsis on it. And sorry, I haven't really been putting out videos because, I've been going through this vetted process of, I just became I claimed my nationality. So, I just broke a generational curse on that. So I'm going to start dropping a lot more videos. So share this video, get it out there. Thanks for watching.